All right, we're live. We've got Orca and Hippie Chick. Hippie Chick, well, you never get here early. We've got Orca and Hippie Chick here starting the show off. Let's check the YouTube chats here real quick. Nothing going on over there. Okay, man, let's start the show. I'm going to make some kafef. So I might be a little late getting back here, but let's go ahead and start the song. And, yeah. Or not. Or not. It might help if I turn my sound on. Wait, my sound is on. That's weird. Why don't I have any sound? It's not muted. I have no theme song music. Maybe because it wasn't playing? I don't know. No, there's still no theme song music. Dude. Oh, that's weird. It came in late like that. Okay, weird. I don't know why it wasn't playing from the beginning, but there it is, folks. I'll be right back. Here. Let's put it on the other.
Prepare yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'll be right back. Let me make some coffee.
Prepare yourself.
Line and take cashing your chips. You sniveling, whining, self-loathing hypocrite. Blame it on Rio or the woman in red. Don't fool yourself, it's all in your head. You're the mascot of the next century. Look in the mirrors, crowd insecurity. I bleed for you, my eyes burn. My point is no, cause you'll never learn. You'll never learn. I bleed for you. You'll never learn. I bleed for you. You'll never learn. I bleed. I bleed. Lying and dying, it's all that you read. Bulletin from your mouth, on your own feet. Shot up your mouth, and turfs and self-pity. Sick of your loathsome, loathsome little ditty. Line and take cashing your chips. You sniveling, whining, self-loathing hypocrite. Blame it on Rio or the woman in red. It's all in your head.
It starts with an F. Bullshit! Fuck you! 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 Fuck you all my brothers! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you, shit! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you all! Fuck you, motherfucker! Fuck you, Hollywood! Fuck you! Fuck you, motherfucker! Fuck you! Fuck you all! Fuck off! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Yes. We are here. Hello, Trendies, Orlando, Florida. All things trendy. All sources, forms, and sorts of social media. All forms, sources, and sorts of social media. Trendy dabbers. It's so bitter. Hello. Papa Doc. What? Cam froze. Huh? What do you mean the cam froze? What are you talking about? What do you mean cam froze? What's going on? Let me say hi to all of you. Orca, good morning. Hippie chick. Yes. Crisby Cat, hello. Michael Haskey, hello. Papa Doc, good morning. Time for show. Good morning. Awesome bear videos last night. Thank you. Volume up. What do you mean volume up, man? Cam froze. What? Gotta love making it here before the notification goes out. Hippie and Orc, good to see you. Papa Doc, good morning on the way in. Same to you. What's up, Papa Doc? Hey, we're doing good today. Thank you. It's so bitter. Yes, everybody, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you. It's so bitter. It's a little chilly in Florida today. All is good. I am here and ready for a show. Doc, lol, haha. Camera's fine. Morning, everybody. Okay, he said something about the camera froze. Okay, good. Everything's good. All right, good. I don't like to be bothered with such technical difficulties. I haven't even started the show yet. All right, so let's get some more color in this scene here. I'm a little not colored right now. Let's find that camera and add the colors that we so desperately need. You guys heard about the glasses that are supposed to repair color blindness, and it turns out they're just a big scam. Give me some color up in here. Oh, that's pretty. That almost looks like the yellow brick road. That's some color. Look at that. That's pink right there. Look at it. This one is red. That one is pink. Look at this. Good morning, Steve Running. Come on over to the Rumble, buddy. Cool. So glad to see so many people here this morning. If you're here because I mentioned Jill Stein in the title, you know, we could talk about Jill Stein. She said some really good stuff this morning in a video, and I'd play you the video if you guys are interested in hearing what she has to say about the Middle East. It totally makes sense. And she's a Jewish woman, and she's running for president of the United States. You're good, you. You're really good, you. Okay, you're very good, you. Okay, good. You're good, you. Okay. But I would be looking for the audience. I would be looking for my chat to actually let me know that that's something that you guys wanted to hear. I don't want to play you guys videos that you don't want to see. I don't want to give you content that you're not interested in seeing, so. Hey, what's up, Enoch? What is this over here? What's that? Okay, that can go there, I think. And the chat, where is the restream? There's the restream, there's the Rumble chat. Okay, let's switch up the Rumble chat. Great, there's the Rumble chat on screen. Excellent. Just like we like it. Okay, Porta Johns and Hippie Chick. Okay, great. Wow. Okay, I'm shocked. Wow. Okay, I'm shocked that you guys are actually interested in hearing what Jill. Number one, you answered my question. That's shocking. Number two, you want to hear about Jill Stein, and you know something about her. You know that she was irrelevant for a while. You want to hear what she has to say. Wow. Okay. Wow, you guys. I retweeted this. We're going to cover this lawsuit.org tweet. Data finds Republicans are obsessed with searching for transgender porn. Huh. Weird, right? Republicans, the ones who seem to hate the trans community so much that they write laws to ban them out of existence, they go home to their little computers and their smartphones and then they jerk off to trans people on the internet. Weird, isn't that weird? Huh. Republicans! Republitrans! Yeah, we're just going to call them Republitrans now. You're all a bunch of Republitrans. We know what you're into, and it's cool. We accept you now. Just come out of your stupid little closets and, join the rest of the world. Okay, Republitrans? Okay, we know what's up with you. We know why you're so curious about them. We know why you're always, so interested in whatever they got going on in their lives that you want to interfere with whatever they got going on. We understand it now. You want to be a part of their lives. Okay, well, the evidence is out. It's great, right? Closet cases. Republicans secretly love what they publicly hate. So far in 2022, more than 300 anti-LGBTQ bills have been proposed across 36 states, at least 1/3 of which are directed at trans youth. And let me just say this to all the Republicans and Ron DeSantis and all the motherfucking douchebags out there that are okay with that. Fuck all of you, okay? And if I could spit on you right now, I would. This surge, especially in anti-trans legislation from Republicans, stands in stark contrast to a startling fact. Are you ready? Here it is. Republicans love transgender porn a lot. Right? With more than 4.7 million transgender porn-related Google searches each month per ahrefs.com, right? Do Republicans represent those searching most? The answer seems to be a clear yes in all caps. Wow, Republicans is out there. All of you Republicans is out there, huh? You really just love the trans people and you want to jerk off to them, but then you kind of feel guilty because Jesus, so then you try to write legislation to ban them, but really aren't you just attacking yourselves, you morons? Yeah, it's funny, right? Yeah, I'll give you a perfect example. When you're a little kid, you know, and you're just starting to get into the opposite sex, and you're on the playground, and somebody from the opposite sex comes over and teases you or picks on you or whatever, just because they want your attention, because, you know, that's what they do, because they actually like you. So they kind of try to clown you, and they try to tease you, and they try to bully you, when in reality, that kid really just likes you. Or they want to be like you. Or they, you know, they have sexual fantasies about you, whatever it is. Funny, right? Huh. Those Republicans. That's so funny. So anyway, I retweeted that. And I hope you guys are on my Twitter retweeting the hell out of that too. And maybe take that post over to Truth Social with all the Trump fans over there and let them see it too. Maybe send it to Ron DeSantis. You know? Because I bet you Ron DeSantis' search bar's not clean either. Of trans searches. I bet you he does plenty of that too. His wife probably does too. You'd be interested to know how the websites know the voting demographics of their viewers? Bro, don't you know anything? They watch us, bro. They watch your clicks, bro. I mean, come on, seriously, Porta Johns? Did you not realize that you're being tracked everywhere on the internet for advertising, for polling purposes, for the government to spy on you? All kinds of stuff. You didn't know that? You act like you didn't know you were being watched, bro. You're being watched right now. By me. I'm watching you. I'd be interested to know. I just need to see one of these. Come on, dude. When the kink lemonade kicks in, right? It's so better. I retweeted that. Drew, thank you. Yes, very good. Thank you for retweeting that. My oldest daughter was a bully with boys she liked. Yeah, right? Right, freaking Oracle? Right? Yeah, so now we know what's up with all those Republicans. They really just love trans people, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? You've been outed now, and so when you call yourself a Republican, you better watch out what you say about trans people in public, because you're going to get called out for exactly what you are, which is someone who is just completely fascinated by trans people. You're fascinated, and you can't get your fucking dick out of your hands while you're talking about them. Funny. Hilarious. Yeah, leave them alone, man. Back the fuck off. We all know what you're about now. You've been exposed for the assholes that you are, for the haters that you are, for the discriminatory fucking racist cunts that you are. Cat's out of the bag. And, this is a beautiful tweet. So this comes from... Let's put this up on screen. Would this work? No. Let's try this one. There it is. Okay, here we go, guys. On screen. Here, let's do this. I want this on screen. Anybody wants to screenshot this? It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Data finds Republicans are obsessed with searching for transgender porn. Good for them, man. Good for them. You've been outed. You're out of the closet. Now can you stop writing legislation to discriminate against them, please? You fucking cunts, since we know you're so fucking fascinated by them. You know, can we please stop hating people that you seem to, out of one side of your mouth, you act like you hate them and that, oh, they're grooming your children. Out of the other side of your mouth, you go in your bedroom at night and rip out your fucking cell phone and your laptop and jerk off to them while your kids are in the room next to you. Wow, Republicans, man, huh? Where's all my Republicans at? Where's all my Republicans at? Come out of the fucking woodwork, you fucking pieces of shit. Anyway, that wasn't the tweet I really wanted to get into, but that was a good one, and that's on my feed. And, yeah, you guys should, retweet me and check out the stuff that I put up there. It's pretty good. Okay, let's find this other tweet. Ooh, who's that? God, who's that? Maybe you go to my Twitter and find out. Even the Pope agrees with me. Lock her up. Barbara Balmaceda arrested on Capitol riot. Yeah, she got busted. Love it. She worked for Marco Rubio or somebody. It's hilarious. Oh, here we go. This is what we want to look at right here. Dr. Jill Stein. So she's a Jewish woman, okay? So, you would think because she's a Jewish woman and she's running for president of the United States, she'd be all pro-genocide, right? Pro-Netanyahu and, like fucking Biden has been for so long and, Donald Trump is and, all the Republicans that you see up on the debate stage. And all the Democrat cunts also. They're all pro-Israel, pro-genocide, right? So it's interesting to find a Jewish woman who is also running for president of the United States. No offense, but those two fucking strikes against her politically right there. I mean, in today's world, what's going on with the Middle East, it's really not a really great thing to identify as a Jewish person right now. It's really not. You've been thrown under the bus. Israel has thrown you under the bus. Netanyahu's thrown you under the bus. Mainstream media's thrown you under the bus. You've thrown yourselves under the bus with your shit attitudes towards people that are being genocided. So you got what's coming to you, right? At the same time, when someone like me has Jewish roots, and you hear them speaking out against what's going on over there, you should listen. You should listen closely. And someone like Jill Stein, she's also Jewish. I mean, I'm not Jewish, I've got Jewish roots. But she considers herself Jewish still, which I don't know how anybody could after what Israel is doing to the Palestine right now. I don't know how anybody could call themselves Jewish anymore. You don't have to. I'm just saying, you don't have to. You can walk away from it just like I did when I was 11 years old. This 11-year-old boy had more balls than you'll ever have in your entire lives. 11 years old. Fuck you. You can walk away from religion, guys. Do it. Especially if you're Jewish and you're being made to look like a fucking monster. Anyway, I've spoken too much and I want you to hear her words. This is so important because I've never really given two shits about Jill Stein before. I've always looked at her as a spoiler and some fucking idiot that never had a fucking chance and all she was doing was stealing votes from the Democrats. Used to. Now, she actually offers a narrative that I can agree with. So, people call her a Russian asset because she sat down with Russians and had a conversation with them. What my response was, I want a leader who can sit down with our enemies and talk. That's what I want. So, hey man, bonus. Not a Russian asset, someone who will talk to Russians. Good. We need that. We need less Barack Obamas and more Jill Steins in our government. All right? Here we go. Here we go.
To the massacre now taking place before our eyes in Gaza. I speak as someone who deplores violence in all its forms and condemns violence against civilians of any nation. The war crimes being perpetrated by Netanyahu against Palestinians, however, are in a league of their own and have reached genocidal proportions, with Palestinians denied food, water, medicine, and electricity, while being relentlessly bombed as they're forced to flee their homes, running for their lives. President Biden and bipartisan leaders are not only complicit,
Thank you,
they are
Marco.
full partners in Netanyahu's
Right,
war
Bitter?
crimes, supplying the bombs raining down on Gaza, the airplanes dropping them, the aircraft carriers defending the Israeli military,
Right on,
$10
Enoch.
million a day to strengthen the IDF, and propaganda to run political interference. The U.S. role in
Jewish.
blocking a UN ceasefire resolution is absolutely unforgivable. We call for an investigation of the Netanyahu regime's war crimes, as well as the role of Biden and U.S.
You hear that? She literally calls them war crimes. She calls them exactly what they are. They are war crimes. And the whole world already has definitions of what war crimes are. And these completely fit the definition 10 times over. In other words, there's 10 stipulations, give or take. Could be 9, could be 11, whatever. There's around that number that dictate what a war crime is. And check this out. It only has to be one of those 10 things. Well, guess what? Israel satisfies like 9 of them. It only has to be one to be a war crime. They're satisfying like 9 of them, of the stipulations. So it's not just war crimes, it's war crimes on steroids times 10 that we can all see. And you can either act like you don't see it or you can act like you see it, one or the other. You can either play the side that she's from and act like, oh, you know, Israel has a right to defend itself. You can play that bullshit, and then you'll probably get spit on. And you will deserve to be spat on when you speak nonsense like that. Go on my Twitter feed or go on Twitter and go pull up some Free Palestine tweets. Search the hashtag and go look in on some of the children over there in Palestine. Look in and see what the bombs have done to the kids. Okay? I watch those videos. I read the testimony and I check out some of the tweets. A lot of you don't. I don't bring it on the show because it is so vile what Israel has done. I can't even do it in this house with my mom under the same roof. But you understand, it's there. And if you want that information so that so that you have a better understanding of, you don't have to be so confused. There's really no confusion about this, and anybody who plays confusion or it's anyone who plays like, it's just so complicated. No. You're complicating it. It's really basic. You're breaking the law, you're committing war crimes, you're guilty. And this woman right here, this Jewish woman, she understands it, and she wants to be the president of the United States. Wow, I'd like to hear Cornel West and her debate this. They both agree, but I'd like to hear both of them speak on it, Where's my sound? Why is the sound doing this today? The sound is going on and off on my system. I don't get it. Now all of a sudden there's no sound. Hold on. Speakers. Yeah, we're all set up here. Oh, wait. Speakers. No, it's right. Let's change them. Change back.
Not only complicit, they are full partners in
fixed it.
Netanyahu's war crimes, supplying the
War
bombs
crimes.
raining down on Gaza,
Yes.
the airplanes dropping them,
Yes.
the aircraft
Yes.
carriers
We're
defending
complicit.
the Israeli military,
Yes.
$10 million a day to strengthen the IDF,
Yes.
and propaganda to run political interference.
Yes.
The U.S. role in blocking a UN ceasefire resolution is absolutely unforgivable. We call for an investigation of the Netanyahu regime's
I
war
agree.
crimes, as well as
Yes.
the role of Biden and U.S.
Yes.
leaders in aiding and abetting them.
Yes.
And above all, these crimes must stop
Yes.
now.
Yes.
As a Jew who grew up just after the Holocaust, with relatives who fled pogroms and a grandfather named Israel, I take never again seriously.
Wow.
And that means never again for anyone.
And wait, let me stop.
For all those reasons.
Because I'm not going to let Jill Stein get over on me. My great-grandfather's name is Israel, too. BAM!
We demand a ceasefire, an end to the blockade, humanitarian and medical relief, release of hostages and political prisoners, and an end to occupation and apartheid. This is the only path to peace and security for us all.
Yes. So, interesting, right? Anybody who disagrees with that, just leave my show. Just leave. Don't come back. Don't ever come back. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to give you content. I don't want to act like, we're cool or get high with you or any of that. If none of that made sense to you, just leave and don't ever come back to my show. Lose my subscription, lose my follow, lose all my channels, and lose all the information. I am so sick of people like you, and I don't want you here. If that made sense to you, I have a feeling it made sense to all of you. Then you're doing it right. You're doing it right. We have been indoctrinated to think there's a good guy and a bad guy with the movies and the TV shows and everything that we've been, stories and everything that we've been, and then you're forced to kind of pick a side. Oh, this side. Guess what? With what's going on with Israel and Hamas, they're both shit. They are both fucking shit. And they both deserve to wipe each other off the face of the fucking earth as far as I'm fucking concerned. Okay? But when it comes to the Palestinian people, they're victims in all this, in this fucking game. And they don't deserve what the hand that they've been dealt. Yeah, you chose poor leaders. Hey man, I'm guilty of that too. I'm an American under Donald Trump. I was an American under Barack Obama. I was an American under this moron fucking genocide supporting cunt fucking Joe Biden. Have I done anything really to leave the country? Have I done anything to rebel against them? Not really. I'm kind of guilty in all of that. But I don't have to fucking like it, man, because I don't. I fucking hate it. And if there's anything that I can do that's within reason, go help and have a voice or inspire people to go march or whatever it is, man, I'm going to fucking do it. And I'm going to support the people of Palestine. I'm going to support Gazans. And I'm never going to stand with fucking Israel. I'm never going to stand with Netanyahu. I'm never going to stand with genocide. I'm never going to stand with apartheid. And you guys can suck a dick as far as I'm fucking concerned. The people that support that bullshit. A lot of the people that I grew up with, the Jews that I grew up with, went to Hebrew school and Sunday school with, a lot of them I'm sure still support Israel, and fuck every single one of those cunts. Fuck them all. Fuck our history. Fuck our past. I don't want to have anything to do with those cunts ever again. Understand that. I'm ready to walk away from everybody who still supports this bullshit. So until you fucking wise up, until you figure out what the fuck, where you are, you might want to keep your fat fucking mouth shut when you're talking to me about this, unless you agree, because there's really only one agreement. There's only one thing to agree on here. And that's the genocide needs to stop. Just like Jill said, it needs to stop. You could blame the history. You could say whoever's got the rights to protect the blah, blah, blah. You could talk about that till you're blue in the face. But all I want is for the bullets to stop flying and the bombs to stop falling. I've seen too many fucking buildings, perfectly well-built buildings that could have housed people that needed places to live, destroyed by Israel. Destroyed into rubble. Leaving people with no homes and no possessions. And there's still plenty of people out there supporting this shit. So, Billy, what's up? Oh, Iceland saved 4,000 lives from the volcano. Oh, that's good. Better to save lives than fucking extinguish them, I think, right? So let's listen to Jill Stein one more time. Those of you that are just getting here, it's only a 2-minute speech.
To the massacre now taking place before our eyes in Gaza. I speak as someone who deplores violence in all its forms and condemns violence against civilians of any nation. The war crimes being perpetrated by Netanyahu against Palestinians,
War crimes.
however, are in a league of their own and have reached genocidal proportions, with Palestinians
1%.
denied food,
They've wiped
water,
out 1%
medicine,
of the
and
Gazans,
electricity,
man.
while being relentlessly
Think about that.
bombed as they're forced to flee their homes, running for their lives. President Biden and bipartisan leaders are not only complicit, they are full partners in Netanyahu's war crimes, supplying the bombs
Conspirators.
raining down on Gaza,
Conspirators.
the airplanes dropping them,
You want a
the
conspiracy?
aircraft
There's one for
carriers
you.
defending the Israeli military.
You know, fuck your 9/11.
$10 million
How about
a day
October
to
6th?
strengthen the IDF,
Or 7th, I'm sorry.
and propaganda to run political interference. The U.S. role in blocking a UN ceasefire resolution is absolutely unforgivable. We call for an investigation of the Netanyahu regime's war crimes, as well as the role of Biden and U.S. leaders in aiding and abetting them. And above all, these crimes must stop now. As a Jew who grew up just after the Holocaust, with relatives who fled
And the people that
pogroms
committed them
my
need to be punished.
grandfather named Israel, I take never again seriously, and that means never again for
12.
anyone. For all those reasons, we demand a ceasefire, an end to the blockade, humanitarian and medical relief, release of hostages and political prisoners, and an end to occupation and apartheid. This is the only path to peace and security for us all.
Yeah. I used to be on the other side of that. You know, if this had happened 10 years ago, you would have heard a totally different nay. But I have learned, man, I've changed, and you can too. And anybody that listens to my voice, you all have the ability to change your opinion on this. It's so simple. It's just a matter of what Jill said. You're against violence towards innocent people. You're against them getting wiped out, genocided. That's all. That's all it takes. And then boom, we can be friends. It's that simple. All right, no law regarding cannabis. Cheers to all of you. Bitcoin's supposed to go up to 48,000, guys. So, it's a big jump. Probably like 6 or 7% or something. I don't know. You. Thank you, hippie chick. Speaking out against Israel. What? What? Stop the genocide. You're not standing with Israel. I love it. Me neither. Hippie chick. When January 7th happened, when Hamas came into Israel and killed over 1,000 Jews that day, and you were watching it on the news, have your feelings changed any since that day to today? Have your feelings changed? I knew they allowed that attack. I knew they allowed it. I knew there was no way, after I heard what that soldier said, when she said a cockroach would approach the fence and they would wake all of us up. to man our stations. She said a fucking stork would approach the fence. A dog. It wouldn't matter. There was no way that they didn't know this was coming. There's no way that they were taken by surprise. And the evidence that you need is the response, Israel's response. That's the only evidence you need to know that this is exactly what they wanted. They fostered this attack so that they could destroy Gaza, because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to destroy Gaza. They wanted to level it. They wanted to flatten it. That's what Netanyahu wanted to do. That's what Netanyahu wanted to do. And let me tell you something. Before the attack, Netanyahu held up a map with, there was no Palestine. It was a map of Israel. He was at some event, whatever, I don't know. He held up a map, and it showed that Gaza had been wiped off of that map. And then this happens, and now he's getting exactly what he showed he was going to do. I don't stand with Israel ever again, Orca. Imagine just coexisting with other religions. Dude, they have really done it this time. I mean, they need to oust Netanyahu. If Israel wants a future, they got to get rid of this government now. And they need to do it forcibly. They need to go in there and get him out. And try him for the war crimes. And you know what? I'd support them again. I would if they did that. I would support them. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. Wouldn't be surprised if it happens. There's a lot of Israelis that are really pissed off right now. And they're pissed off at Netanyahu. And they're pissed off at the reaction that the world is having towards Israel. You know, they don't want to look bad. Israel has always enjoyed its status. You know, Israelis have always enjoyed that status. It's almost as if they felt like they were the champions of the world. Not the winners, but the people who championed all other people. Right? Like they looked at themselves as if they were the Sir Galahad of all the other countries. They were the ones who did it right. They were the ones who, you know, we're not going to go kill all the Palestinians. We're going to build an Iron Dome and they can attack us all they want. And we'll just shoot their rockets down. Hey, man, Iron Dome. Serious question. It's crazy, right? Flipping the script here. Great idea. You've got terrorists shooting rockets, killing Israelis in Israel, and you invent a system that literally shoots the rockets down out of the sky and limits a massive amount of death. I mean, people still get killed from debris and whatnot, but nowhere near like when these rockets hit, right? Setting an example for the rest of the world, you know, that Iron Dome system. Impressive piece of defensive machinery there, right? That's pretty impressive, isn't it? That the Israelis invented that. Drip irrigation. Now, I don't know if the Israelis invented it. I heard they did. But they definitely popularized drip irrigation. And, you know, now if you're not using drip irrigation, you're just throwing water up into the atmosphere. You know? They've done a lot of contributions. And, you know, before they became genociders, those contributions to society really lifted them up and made them seem great to a lot of people. People would look at the 6-day war and say, Israel ended a war in 6 days. They were being attacked on 2 fronts. And in some crazy way, as if God was looking out for them, they turn that around and not only did they do that, but then they seized land and they still hold that land to this day. And I mean, if you were being attacked and you had to push someone back, you would seize their land too to keep them off of it, right? It would seem fair. Well, they attacked us. They had plausible deniability up until now. So what's the response? I think the response is going to be an out-and-out rebellion in Israel against that government to physically remove Netanyahu. That's what I see. And the fact that, these soldiers killed these 3 Israelis that were shirtless and waving a white flag, it almost seems like they're in it with Netanyahu, the IDF. It's like they really hate the Palestinians, man. Bloodthirsty. Killed their own guys. You can't excuse your way out of that. Were they targets of opportunity? Is that what you've been doing? Going around just shooting everybody? Because it kind of seems like you have been. It kind of seems like you've been doing that, IDF. Because you got busted doing it. Let's see some of your footage. Let's see the people you're shooting in the street and bulldozing over. Dude. Like I said, man, I hope you guys are on Twitter watching what's going on. I don't know what you see on the social media platforms that you frequent, but I think it's worth educating yourselves on. God, I've got to send this to some people. I just realized that. Um, send that out. Donald Trump is surging in the polls now, guys. Surging. Ron DeSantis is falling to the very bottom. And Joe Biden is losing against Trump in all states, for the most part. In all the swing states that matter. I don't know if it means all states, but... and it's just some rhetoric that he used, which was, you know, Mein Kampf-esque. And you guys need to understand the history of Nazism, bro. You need to understand that Donald Trump loves that shit, and he's using that shit on you and the you guys that support him. He's turning you into a bunch of fucking cunt Nazis. And you just need to understand that. Okay? You're the fucking Nazis now. You're the fucking cunts. You're the fucking people. You're the people that scare other people because you hate other people based on their differences from you. You're fucking dumb cunts. I don't know how else to put that. I'm not good with words. I'm bad with words. That's all I got. But it's how I feel. So, you know, I hope at least I'm able to express how I feel, you know, with what little words I can use. I listen to other people speak and I'm like, God, you got words, man. You've read some books, bro. You have got words. I don't even know what that word was. I don't even know that word. I'm going to have to look that word up. I don't even know the definition of that word. You're using a word I don't even fucking know. And then all the other words you use, yeah, I know them, but I would never think to use them in a conversation. I guess it's just not me, man. I was just talking to my girlfriend. She's like this poet. She's amazing. Amazing. And she sends me these really cute things, you know. And I'm like, I told her, I'm like, me too. Thank you. You know, it's like I'm just such a fucking klutz. When it comes to that. Oh. Look at you guys. Look at you. Imagine just coexisting with other religions. When losing... That's Dave. Campione, what's up? Hippie chick. When losing politically, start a war. Works for U.S. Why not Israel? Fuck war. Hippie chick. Orca. Wag the dog. Orca. Start a war is a distraction. Wag the dog. Porta Johns 33. The same thing happened on 9/11. The same conspirators, exactly what Eisenhower warned us about in his farewell address. Where's the fucking Hague? Arrests must happen. This can't be allowed in civilized society. Orca. Believe America sold Israel the Iron Dome and still pays for the fucking ammo. Orca. Porta Johns. Israel wouldn't let the Ukrainians use the Iron Dome because it would ruin their relationship with Russia. That should explain a lot. Porta Johns. Orca, every citizen should possess the ability to defend against multiple attackers. Strap up because sometimes 9/11 is too late. Porta Johns, amen, Orca. Orca, yeah, Israel don't truck with pissing off Putin. He's definitely got the black vote this time around, Crispy Cat. So bitter. Some people are wordsmiths, I guess. Your words are spot on for your views. They have learn a word a day programs. Yeah, but would I retain it? You know? I don't think I want that. Because I know all the words. I just choose not to use them. You know? Michael Haskey says eggs are on sale this week. Cheese though too. You're like, were you trying to text Romaine about the eggs? That's funny. North Korea is testing some crazy ass rocket they say could reach the United States. Man. Governor, I know I saw that. Governor Abbott just signed a bill authorized to arrest immigrants by sheriffs. The federal government's, they're going to have to take that to the Supreme Court because that goes against federal law. But yeah, that is what's going on, man. It's fucking crazy. We should probably watch somebody talk about that, huh? Dude, the color blindness scam. Dude, have you guys seen that? It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. There's
Not the most informative diagnosis I would.
There's how do you go full screen here? Okay, right here. Check this out. Watch this shit, and I don't know. You tell me, guys. You tell me what you think. watch this shit. So there's the scam. So if you're colorblind, it's supposed to make you see color. And it turns out they're totally bogus, and they don't. They don't fix color blindness at all. And every single person that put them on and acted like it was helping them was lying and acting, pretending that they were suddenly seeing. Look who did this shit.
This.
Boom! I got this box, and inside this box are glasses that will fix my color blindness.
Then 3 years later, this.
Oh my god! Oh my god! So I put on these glasses, bro. No change.
I didn't know that.
Like
I
this,
didn't know
the
that.
sky was zero. Like maybe the sky was a little like lighter shade of blue. And I had a moment in my mind. I was like, "We're at the Getty Museum. I have to fake this." So I was like,
Who would have thought YouTube's most virtuous influencer, Logan Paul, would stage a video for views? Shocking, but even more concerning.
Right? Dude. Those glasses never worked. Right, Crispy Cat? No, they say that there's no, as of now, there's no cure for color blindness. Like, what about like an eye transplant? Corneal transplant? Iris transplant? I don't know where color blindness resides. Is it in the brain? Or is it in the eye? Do they know? This documentary, it's a quick one, but I don't know if I'd call it a documentary, but it's really good. Really worth watching. I don't know if we're allowed to watch it on YouTube. Let me see how many viewers I have. An eye transplant. You're laughing at that. Dude, they do like corneal or retinal transplants or put pig eyes in people's eyes. I don't know. I don't know what they do. Elon Musk will fix it with his brain implant technology. If you go back and look at history, some of the best artists known to man were actually colorblind. Picasso, Van Gogh, etc., etc. Yeah. No. You know what? Picasso and Van Gogh were not colorblind. There you go. It didn't seem, it didn't seem right to me. And I hate when people talk shit. I fucking hate that shit because you didn't know. And you didn't, wherever you fucking heard that shit, dude, you never bothered to go research it for yourself. So, I did. And you're wrong. I'm like, how the fuck are they going to pick colors and know what things look like if they're colorblind? How are they going to make such beautiful paintings if they're colorblind? I'm sure it's possible to make beautiful paintings when you're colorblind, but I really doubt that You know, two of the most famous painters of all of our history, you know, didn't have the ability to use a sense that was required to do what they did. Just saying. Now I just want to know where you heard that bullshit. I was told the wrong story. There are colorblind artists out there. There's millions of people are colorblind. So yeah, there's colorblind artists. But no, that's not. Yeah, read underneath that and keep reading, Crispy Cat. You fucking selective little cunt job. Now you're gonna fucking double down now. You literally just said are thought to have been. And then if you keep reading, you'll find out Picasso and Van Gogh were not colorblind. Keep reading. No, keep reading, you fucking dumb cunt. Keep fucking reading, you idiot. God, man, it's just fucking were thought to have been. It's in the fucking sentence that you just put. Were thought to have been. It would be a very important fact about a fucking famous painter that they were fucking colorblind, don't you think, bro? I mean, everybody would know that. You're just filling in your fucking your confirmation bias. I don't know where I looked it up at. I had a page up, but I guess I closed it. All I put was was Picasso colorblind. I saw the same fucking sentence that you copied and pasted. Then I kept reading and it said, however, Picasso was not colorblind. I didn't put in Van Gogh. Da Vinci was thought to have wings like a bird. Yeah, I know. One of my friends that I went to high school with is colorblind. He told me what it was. He couldn't distinguish two colors. He's like, I can't tell if something is red or green or something like that. He's like, those two colors look the same to me. Yeah, right. It's different for different people. 300 million people are colorblind around the world. Yeah, it's common. I wonder what it's like for a colorblind person to watch Wizard of Oz when it goes from black and white to color. I wonder what the difference is visually for someone who's colorblind. If it gets, more brighter, darker gets darker, brighter gets brighter, stuff like that. Porta Johns, thank you. I did see that. I did see John Oliver's segment. We're not allowed to watch it on YouTube, but if we all came to Rumble, we could watch John Oliver HBO on Last Week Tonight. He destroys Elon Musk for like 20 minutes. It's unbelievably good. It's actually, I think it's even more than that. It might even be like 30 minutes. He just destroys Elon Musk. Nay for the win. GSP girl. Hey, my dad was colorblind. My grandson's colorblind. And my nephew's colorblind. Wow. So it seems hereditary, huh? Seymour Randy, what's up, buddy? Steve running. It was funny. You guys want the link to Rumble, man? Here's the link. If you guys want to come over to Rumble, and then we could shut down the YouTube channel. I don't know how many people are watching on YouTube. But then we could watch the John Oliver. It's good, man. It's really good. It's nice to watch someone besides Thunderfoot take down Elon Musk for a change. And yeah, it's like Porta Johns says, it's like John Oliver called me and asked me for all my talking points on Elon Musk. It's hilarious. I was like, Nostradamus strikes again. Nailed it again, right? Nailed it. N-A-Y, nailed it. N-A-Y, LED, nailed. Sweet hereditary, right, GSP girl? Welcome back, GSP girl. It's good to see you back in the chat. Do you want to see more people lie about the bullshit sunglasses that don't fix color blindness? Here, watch.
Were profiting from their over-the-top reactions. A great example is this recent video by the creators Two Hearts One Soul, a creator couple from South Korea. Step 1, boyfriend tries on the glasses. Step 2, emotional reaction. Step 3, the tears start flowing. And step 4, advertise an affiliate link.
I signed up for their affiliate program. We have a link and we have a code for 10% off of them.
And it's amazing how many grown men they got to pretend to cry because they could suddenly see color they asked people to do it. They were like, we'll give you a free pair if you make a video and when you put them on, you know, you give an emotional response. So a whole bunch of dudes did it and cried when they put the glasses on. It's all at the beginning of this video. We're further down right here.
By them, we get a very small commission percentage.
Wait a minute. So she signed up for the affiliate program and got a custom coupon code from Enchroma before they even knew whether or not the glasses would work. Seems to me that they were planning on making money from these glasses, regardless of the outcome. The couple also claim they're not sponsored by Enchroma.
Again, it's not sponsored. But
However, Enchroma has been using their content as advertising material on Instagram and Facebook. Now, I can tell you right now, most influencers will not allow companies to do this without some form of payment. And judging by the hashtag Enchroma, well, it's gotta make you wonder. Now, after reaching out to the couple for comment, they came out swinging in defense of their video, insisting they only signed up for the affiliate program after being impressed by the glasses. But I'm struggling to understand how they managed to apply and get approval for this affiliate program in the midst of shooting their video at the park. The timeline doesn't add up. They also claim Enchroma hasn't paid them a dime besides affiliate commission, yet they conveniently dodged my questions about why Enchroma was using their content as advertising material. Concluding the email, I was given a stern warning that I'm not to use their content in any way.
Wow.
Oops.
It's worth it.
worth it.
Regardless, in the interest of fairness, I invited them to back up their story with proof of some dates,
Use
you
their
know, for
content
the affiliate
anyway.
registration. But no, apparently I was too hostile and accusatory, so they felt, why bother?
Too hostile.
But despite all these concerning videos, there was still a lot of reactions out there that actually felt genuine. Like real emotional responses to these glasses that just didn't come across as acting. And honestly, a part of me wanted to believe at least some of them were real, because I too wanted to experience what they were experiencing. So it was time to find out what the hype was all about and try these glasses. But first, I had to get tested. So I googled color blindness test, and would you look at who showed up at the top of the results? Interesting. Enchrom's test is pretty straightforward. The whole process took less than 2 minutes, and my results came back as a severe deutan, which is a type of red-green color blindness. These are the numbers I got wrong or couldn't make out.
Red-green.
I decided to do another
my
online
buddy.
test, but this time from a company called Pilestone, who also make glasses for the colorblind. Strangely, their one pegged me as a mild deutan. However, you should never rely on the internet for a medical diagnosis, so I booked an appointment at a professional eye clinic here in Seoul. The process began with the typical Ishihara color test, much like the ones online, which quickly confirmed my general colorblindness. They then repeated the test, focusing on one eye at a time. Apparently some people are colorblind in only one eye. Not me though. Next came a test I had never heard of before, the Farnsworth D15 color test. In layman's terms, this is a color arrangement task. You're provided with a reference color to start with, and then you have to organize the remaining 14 colored chips according to their color similarity. It's like putting together a puzzle with shades of colors. And again, both my eyes failed miserably. With the test done and dusted, the doctor was ready to give me my official diagnosis. Now, I wasn't allowed to record this, unfortunately, but the doctor simply said, "You're colorblind," in Korean. But given all the additional testing they did, I had hoped for a more detailed diagnosis. So naturally I was like, okay, but how colorblind am I exactly? To which the doctor replied, totally colorblind, and there's no cure. Not the most informative diagnosis I was hoping for, nor one that I really agreed with. What's interesting is I'd actually also been professionally tested in New Zealand about 8 years ago, and back then I was officially diagnosed as being red-green colorblind. That's it. So I've been told I'm a strong do-tan, a mild do-tan, red-green colorblind, and totally colorblind. One thing I learned during this entire process is that it is not easy getting a clear and concise diagnosis.
No longer going to get him.
I figured the answers lay in the hands of these miracle glasses. So it was time to put them to the test. Now, Nkrumah claims that with their glasses, you're guaranteed to see color and thousands of hues for the first time. Pretty bold claim. Let's see my reaction. Let's see if we get some tears today. All right. Alright, I'll just put them on and I'll just start talking about what I'm seeing, I guess. Whoa! Okay, everything's a real intense magenta, like tint. Pinkish tint, magenta tint. And I fail to see how that's gonna go away at all.
They're crooked.
It's so intense. Alright, so I just found a couple of items in the house. This looks really different now. Like, this is intense. So I think something's actually happening here. Anything this color, like this is, like this pops. Is this color new to me? I don't think so. Now, I'll spare you the entire video, but after wearing the glasses for an entire day, I did start to notice changes to certain colors. Pinks were more saturated, and oranges became more of a blood orange or red. At first, a part of me thought the glasses were actually doing something meaningful. But whenever I posed myself the question, are these colors new to me? The answer was always no. Not at all. In fact, on the downside, I found certain colors to be worse. Greens looked slightly darker, and yellows became very muted. Now, Nkrumah does recommend that you give your eyes a few weeks to adjust to the glasses, so I did just that. But there was no improvement to color perception at all. I also tried grading footage with the glasses on, but I found it more of a hindrance than an aid. So all things considered, Nkrumah's glasses did not live up to the hype at all. But I wasn't going to give up that easy, so I decided to test out a few more brands. The next pair I got my hands on was from the company called Stone. They claim their glasses give individuals with a color vision deficiency.
This is funny. That guy worked for a company where his job was colorizing video. And he was colorblind. He talks about it at the beginning of the video, and it's fucking hilarious. It was literally his job, man. And that's how he found out he was colorblind. Because people were like, dude, why are all the people red in this video? He's like, I'm gonna fix that. I'll get to it. And he couldn't see it.
The ability to see.
Or they would have green on them, and he wouldn't see the green from the green screen shit.
In perfect color. Wow, just what I was looking for. Here they are. Here.
And his job was to fix all that.
What they look like. Wow, this, ladies and gentlemen, is what perfect color looks like. Honestly, the pink tint is so intense, it's painful to wear these.
Oh my god.
It's no wonder people are crying when they're putting these on for the first time. Now, as painful as it was, I continued to wear these glasses for prolonged periods of time. And what I noticed was the glasses appear to affect colors in a similar way to enchromas, but at like 3 times the strength. The longer I wore these glasses, the more I was convinced that this technology actually makes color perception worse. Here's a great example as to why. Here we have the colors orange and red, and I can easily discriminate these 2 colors. But when the glasses come
Holy
on,
shit.
they look basically identical.
They look identical.
Through the camera, you can see a slight difference in colors, but barely.
Oh
so
my
I have
God.
no idea why they're claiming these glasses help you see color better when they make 2 completely different colors look almost identical. Needless to say, Pilestone did not deliver on their promise of perfect color. Now, just as I thought it couldn't get any worse, wait until you see this last pair from a company called Carelust. They claim their glasses are FDA approved and allow you to see color like never before. Well, here they are, and holy shit, I must admit, I've truly never seen color like this before.
God, man.
Because damn. Ladies and gentlemen, this is apparently
just gels.
what normal color vision looks like.
They're just pink gels. They're like spotlights.
It's absolutely ridiculous and borderline terrifying.
And there's
and
no
on top
science.
of the obnoxious red
There's
tint,
no
there's
science.
a reflective coating on the inside of these lenses, which is so strong that all you can see at first is a reflection of your own eyes. The FDA must be completely blind. I won't lie, I was genuinely shocked at just how bad these glasses are. Now, I'm not the first person to put these on and go, ugh. But most of these companies use the excuse that their glasses won't work for everyone, which acts as an excellent get out of jail free card for them. Because a lot of the people who are honest about their bad experience just go, bummer, I guess I'm not one of the lucky ones. But really? Is this really a case where some people are seeing an obnoxious red tint and others are seeing a whole new world of color? I don't think so. So I decided to go back and take a closer look at what customers were saying. And what I uncovered was incredibly concerning. A quick look on Trustpilot revealed that Enchroma had terrible reviews, with the majority of customers giving their product a 1 star. But try finding a negative review on their website. I found none. And after submitting my own negative review, it was never published. But after posting a positive review, what do you know? That showed up on their website. Now, that's not surprising, given the third-party service managing their reviews, Okendo, allows them to approve and reject reviews as they please. How convenient. Carelust also have many angry customers on Trustpilot, a stark contrast to their website, which boasts a score of 4.6. And after posting my own negative review, I'm told it's submitted for approval. And of course, it never gets published. Not concerning at all. Now, as for Pilestone, well, their situation is a little different. They too boast a solid amount of positive reviews on their website, and according to the third-party review service, Shopper Approved, they're all from verified paying customers. Thank goodness. But as I scrolled through the reviews, I noticed something strange. Many of the reviews said odd things like easy, or smooth, or very informative. Well, it turns out the majority of these 5-star reviews were actually coming from the users who had completed the color blindness test. They weren't from paying customers at all. I won't lie, it was a sobering realization. All the review systems for these companies were compromised. A calculated manipulation that is beyond unethical. With the investigation looking more and more grim, I turned my attention back to the reaction videos to see if I could find anything off color.
Dude,
and sure enough, I stumbled across some damning evidence. Watch this.
I want you to point to each balloon and tell me what colour they are, okay?
It's another balloon challenge video. The boy gets the colors of the balloons all wrong,
That one's blue. That one's orange. That one's purple.
puts on the Enchroma glasses, and gets them all right.
Blue, red, purple, green, orange, and yellow.
But after watching the video several times, I noticed something. Something was written on the balloons. They literally wrote the wrong colors on each balloon to help this boy state the colors he was supposedly getting wrong.
Green,
Okay.
yellow,
Yep.
yellow. Yeah. Wait, no, that one's red.
The video was staged. The most insane thing about this is I found this video on Enchroma's press kit page. Literally a video for the press to use when advertising Enchroma. That is insane. It was at this point I knew I had a serious investigation on my hands, but little did I know, I had barely scraped the surface. On the next episode, I consult with some color vision scientists. Can these color vision aids help you see new colors for the first time?
No. You're certainly not going to see new colours for the first time because they're not giving you a new detector.
Overall, they will not increase the number of colors that you can see in a scene, and mostly they play with brightness, contrast.
Including a scientist that work within chroma.
When I've seen things, at one point when I was more active in this, I complained, and I try to make my opinions clear.
Would you have still taken the shares from them, knowing that they're going to advertise their product in this way? That's pretty you have to admit, it's pretty unethical to take someone's scientific study and then mischaracterize it to sell your glasses. Were you aware that they were mischaracterizing your findings in this way?
Well,
the mainstream media unknowingly promote $4 glasses from China under the guidance of a medical professional.
I mean, I saw the news segment. Do you want me to quote you? I mean, like, wow.
Yeah, I blame the companies, but, that's just me. I don't like unethical companies. And greed just... it never seems like a good excuse. Fox News blamed for Capitol Hill riot.
Court hearing for alleged U.S. Capitol rioter Anthony Antonio. His lawyer argued that he committed those acts because of Fox-itis or Fox-mania, because the guy lost his job and believed everything that he was watching on Fox News, and that's why he committed the crime of rioting. In answer to your questions, no, Fox News is not going to face any repercussions as a result of this, even if these allegations are true, because remember, people are responsible for their own actions. Love or hate Fox News, they don't make people do anything. I would love to tell you more about this court hearing, but it was interrupted by fellow alleged U.S. Capitol rioter Landon Copeland, who heard these words, was incensed, and just went on a complete rage, interrupted everything. So in the future, we're going to be seeing a lot of these guys in court.
Can you blame these companies? Some are opportunistic, even if morally wrong. Yeah, well, it's like there's a lot of corrupt people out there, right? There's a lot of people willing to be unethical so that they can line their pockets. You know, CoinMarketCap has fucking Christmas decorations on the avatar now. It's changed it on your phone. It's so stupid. Yeah, so let's check this here. We're checking this here. we're checking that. What? Dude, come on now, man. How about you, bitch? How about you? How about you, bitch? I wonder if this caught a bear in the backyard. I wonder if this caught a bear in the backyard and we had a bear. Checking the perimeter cams. Okay, that's weird. I don't know what the fuck that is. Can't see shit. That's what that is. Can't see shit. That's what I'm calling that one. No bear. I checked, man. No bear. Unbelievable. Good thing I got my own video. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean in a cold car? What's that even mean? It's part of the InstaFame product testing program. All retailers pay for positive reviews, not negative. I never lied. I just found positivity in the bad. I advertised some real trash. Did you get paid? I see color blindness is it's 20 degrees out. It's cold. Did the car have heater inside? Did the car have a heater inside?
The IDF has done a war crimes bonanza. Reports of them shooting people point blank at a school. And also, the IDF literally just an hour ago openly admitted that they shot 3 of their own hostages because they thought that they were Palestinian. There's also another hospital siege that they engaged in this week as well. They also assaulted a Turkish journalist, like a Anadolu Ajansı journalist, in broad daylight in front of cameras. They killed the Al Jazeera cameraman and they injured Wael Dahdu. The Wael is the Al Jazeera like veteran reporter that had his entire family slaughtered by the Israeli occupying force already. First and foremost, breaking news, Israel openly admits that the Israeli military has mistakenly killed 3 Israeli hostages in Gaza. Ramallah West Bank, the Israeli military on Friday mistakenly killed, this is reporting from Ramallah West Bank, the Israeli military on Friday mistakenly killed 3 Israeli hostages during its ground operation in the Gaza Strip, military officials said. The Army's chief spokesman, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, the one that you know from pointing behind memes, said Israeli troops found the hostages and erroneously identified them as a threat. He said it was not clear if they had escaped their captors or had been abandoned. The deaths occurred in the Gaza city of
kid
Shujaiya,
left in a cold car. I see what you meant.
Hamas militants in recent days. He said the army expressed deep sorrow and was investigating. They literally shot escaping hostages. Why did they shoot them? Well, because they're used to shooting, escaping, retreating Palestinian civilians.
Exactly.
That's precisely why. So
exactly.
That's exactly what they did. They are so
That's what I said
good
this
at
morning.
killing journalists. They're so
That
good
is
at
exactly
killing
what I
civilians.
said this morning.
They're so good at executing people. They're so good at blowing shit up for
what
no
they've been
particular
doing,
reason.
and I said,
that of course this is not.
you guys heard me say it. I said, and now there's evidence of them doing it that they had to talk about. They've been doing this. This is what they've been doing. You know, and now you can see because they did it to 3 of their own. Now the whole world knows it. It's all exposed. Show us the fucking body cams. You know, of what you've been doing, you motherfuckers.
Operation. This is not a tactical, surgical, precise military operation.
We
It has
deserve
the capacity to be one,
transparency.
but it refuses to be one.
We're giving
because
you money. We're
they're just
funding
not
your
very
shit.
good
We
at what
deserve
they're doing. They've
transparency.
gotten far too used to behaving as an occupying force that just shoots at children, shoots at retreating people, shoots at civilians, apprehends them, ritualistically humiliates them. And when you do this like mass shooting thing and you spray every single person and you pray, you're going to end up hitting people, a shit ton of Palestinian civilians, and you're going to also end up hitting even your own hostages, it turns out. The deaths were announced as a U.S. envoy said the U.S. and Israel were discussing a timetable for scaling back intense combat operations of the war against Hamas, even though they agree the overall fight will take months. Here's the issue. Shujaya has been some of the most intense combat so far. This is where they also lost, I believe, 10 of their commanders, which was a devastating blow for the Israeli military. This is something that you have to remember. 5,000 dead Palestinian 18-year-olds who are orphaned and are looking to be martyred because this is all they know is very different than 5,000 Israeli soldiers that get wounded. Why? Because those 5,000 Israeli soldiers that get wounded have lives. They have something to look forward to. They have marketing jobs at home. That is a devastating blow to the confidence that the Israeli population has within their own military. Every time a Hamas militant dies, they're like, we're dying for a just cause. We're dying to defend our people. It's a massive moral victory for Hamas. And don't trust me on this. Trust the numbers. Hamas's popularity has only increased as a consequence of the Israeli occupation worsening and the Israeli siege upon the Gaza Strip, both in the West Bank and even in Gaza. The U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan also met with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to discuss the besieged enclave's post-war future, which, according to a senior U.S. official, could include bringing back Palestinian security forces driven from their jobs in Gaza by Hamas in its 2007 takeover. This is a massive fuck-up. Palestinians do not want Mahmoud Abbas. They have said it over and over again. But of course, in the most American way, our absolute dumbass monsters on the American side are like, well, Palestinians aren't human, so who gives a about what their opinions are on the matter? American and Israeli officials have been vague and public about how Gaza will be run if Israel achieves its goal of ending Hamas control. The notion that Palestinian security forces could return was floated as one of the several ideas. It appeared to be the first time Washington offered details on its vision for security agreements or arrangements in the enclave. Any role for the Palestinian security forces in Gaza is bound to elicit strong opposition from Israel, which seeks to maintain an open-ended security presence, which is ridiculous because even the American alternative, regardless of whatever the Israelis are saying, even the American alternative is not one that the Palestinians want. We looked at the numbers. They are profoundly unpopular. Mahmoud Abbas is the most unpopular Palestinian figure. Yahya Sinwar, Ismail Haniyeh, any number of different Hamas militants, Hamas officials are significantly more popular than Abbas and have gotten only more popular in this time frame. It's not just strong opposition. You are trying to do an Afghanistan or you are trying to do an Iraq upon a population that does not want these people. And the difference is it's not coming at the tail end of a 20-year occupation or a 10-year occupation or a 15-year occupation where the puppet administration is planted directly by American officials while American military presence is still there. Palestinians live within their leadership. They have an actual back and forth with their own leadership. You put Abbas you prop up Abbas as the leader for the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, everyone is going to lose their minds. It is such a ginormous fuck-up in a sea of other ginormous fuck-ups. The idea that you don't have to listen to the Palestinian people on who they think is a better person to lead them is coming from the same arrogance and same dehumanization. You're saying fuck-up like it isn't intentional? No, it is a fuck-up. You know why it's a fuck-up? Because they don't have the bandwidth, brother. That's why it's a fuck-up. Israel thinking that it can continue its maintenance of this occupation, continue the maintenance of its violent apartheid, is a fuck-up. That's how October 7 happened. If they could continue doing an apartheid upon the Palestinian public in the way that they have without any repercussions. That would not be a fuck up. But they don't have that. They don't have that control. It's hubris, it's arrogance, it's massively, massively bad for the Israeli population as well. It's taken 67 days for some people to come around to it. Maybe they won't, because they are
like the Pope,
incredibly brainwashed and conditioned to think every Palestinian is not a real fucking human being. That dehumanization is kicked in. However, it does not matter. This will continue. The violence will continue. Now they can't say they're only killing terrorists. Law, it was unintentional, though. They thought the refugees were Palestinians. Killing was intentional, but it was definitely a fuck up. Yeah, that's what I mean. Israel told us the thousands of Palestinian deaths were unfortunate collateral in the goal of extracting all hostages. Then they tried to oppose the ceasefires to extract hostages until there was too much pressure to do so. Now they shoot and kill more hostages, not to mention all the friendly fire deaths. At what point does this become absolutely untenable even for Israelis? Government clearly doesn't care about the hostages. Exactly. If you're a family member of the 3 Israeli hostages that were killed by the Israeli occupying force, you should be incredibly frustrated. It's very odd that people are refusing to see how devastatingly bad this has been for Israel. And by the way, Mohammed is correct. Just to be clear, the IDF killed these Israeli hostages because they thought they were Palestinian civilians.
Yes.
These were retreating Israeli hostages, and they shot and killed them. Like, think about it. This goes back to the lesser evil mentality of Hamas being the lesser evil in this situation. Hamas literally kidnapped these people, apprehended them, jailed them for 67 days. And guess what? Hamas didn't kill them. You know who killed them? Israel did. Think about that. If I'm living in Israel and I see this shit, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You had the opportunity to do a ceasefire. You did a ceasefire. You facilitated it for 6 days, and then you were too horny to get back into combat. Now you're killing even more hostages. This is the only thing we have right now is whatever the IDF has revealed, which is during combat in Shejaya, the IDF mistakenly identified 3 Israeli hostages as a threat, and as a result, fired towards them, and the hostages were killed. Their bodies were transferred to the Israeli territory for examination, where it was confirmed that they were 3 Israeli hostages and were identified. Yotam Chaim, who was kidnapped by Kibbutz Kfar Aza by the Hamas terrorist organization on October 7. Samara Talalka, who was kidnapped in the kibbutz near Am by the Hamas terrorist organization on October 7. The 3rd hostage's family has been notified and requested that his name not be broadcasted. IDF and Israeli police representatives have notified all 3 of the families. The IDF began reviewing the incident immediately. The IDF emphasizes that this is an active combat zone in which ongoing fighting over the last few days has occurred. Immediate lessons from the event have been learned, which have been passed on to all IDF troops on the field. The IDF expresses deep remorse over the tragic incident and sends the families its heartfelt condolences. Our national mission is to locate all the missing and return all the hostages home, which is not true. It's not their mission at all. Their mission is to kill as many Palestinians as possible within the boundaries of like the entire world, not rising up in arms, and they're actually losing sight of that as well. Why aren't they lying and saying Hamas killed them? I don't know. But I feel like it's because it's a broad daylight, I assume, or like a very clear situation, that it is virtually impossible for them to deny it.
Saying that it mistakenly killed.
I assume it's on camera. That's probably why. The IDF published photos of showing banners hung by 3 hostages mistakenly killed by Israeli troops in Gaza, which read, "Help, 3 hostages," and SOS. IDF spokesman said the building was located 200 meters from where the hostages were shot. They published the photos of the banners hung by the 3 hostages mistakenly killed by the Israeli troops. I don't know why they're like even revealing more of the details, the gruesome details of how they straight up executed their own hostages. I don't know why, especially because like this quite literally is turning into a major fuck up, because it has led to the largest protest so far. Ombim Beyachad, I think I'm saying their name right, Stand Together, and many other groups that range from like the Israeli left to the far left, which is albeit marginal, have been protesting, and the hostage families have been protesting for a ceasefire since like October 7. However, the numbers have grown dramatically since the 3 Israeli hostages were executed by the Israeli occupying force. This is actually becoming quite problematic for them. And I don't know
nice.
why
Put my feet
they
on that.
are
Ooh, that nice.
giving into this, especially as this comes at the tail end of a 4-day communications blackout, which barely made a dent in American media. The IDF provides new details on yesterday's tragic incident. According to a senior officer in the Southern Command, citing an initial probe, the incident began after one soldier stationed in a building identified 3 suspicious figures exiting a building several dozen meters away. All 3 were shirtless, with one of the figures carrying a stake with a makeshift white flag. The soldier, who believed the men moving towards him was an attempt by Hamas to lure IDF soldiers into a trap, immediately opened fire and shouted "terrorist" to the other forces. According to the probe, the soldier that killed the 2 of the men, while the third, who was hit and wounded, fled back into the building from which he came. At that stage, the commander of the battalion, who was also in the building where the soldier shot from, went outside and called on the forces to halt their fire. Meanwhile, sounds of someone shouting help in Hebrew were heard by troops in the area. Moments later, a third man came out of the building to which he fled, and another soldier opened fire at him, killing him. The battalion commander then realized that the appearance of the third man was unusual, and it was revealed to be an Israeli hostage. Think about that. Remember what I told you, that like it's impossible to distinguish between like Israelis and Palestinians, because there is a shit ton of Israeli Arab Jews as well, and also obviously Palestinian citizens of Israel or Israeli Muslim citizens as well, like the Bedouin. This is part of the reason why their indiscriminate killing ends up actually causing a 20% friendly fire rate in the Israeli occupying force, because they're also terrified on top of that. The soldier who immediately opened fire upon identifying the 3 men did so against the protocols, as did the second soldier who killed the third man, according to the officer. Still, the IDF said it understands what led the soldiers to do so. In Shajaya, the senior officer says the IDF has not identified any Palestinian civilians in recent days. I wonder why. The officer says troops have killed at least 38 Palestinian terror operatives in Shajaya in recent days. The only people seen wearing civilian clothing have been Hamas operatives, often unarmed. The operatives collect weapons left behind in various buildings, open fire at troops, and then flee again, unarmed, to another building. The IDF has also encountered several seemingly unarmed civilians in Shajaya who later turned out to be Hamas suicide bombers. There's also been several attempts by Hamas in the area to lure soldiers into an ambush. On Wednesday, in what initially thought to be unrelated to yesterday's deadly mistaken shooting, the officer says several hundred meters away from the troops found a building with a spray paint SOS in English and another spray painted message reading in Hebrew, help, 3 hostages. The soldiers at the time believed the building was booby-trapped, but now the military is investigating a possible connection. Oh my god, they snitched on themselves. They showed this footage before they figured out that they were real hostages. Immediately following the incident, the IDF sent new protocols to ground troops. Does anyone have the general? They did a PR hit. Some IDF general is like speaking to his troops about how like we never kill hostages, of course, right, we do not kill hostages, and then they're like, yeah, this is it. Yeah, you see 2 people there with their hands up without shirts. Take 2 seconds, and I want to tell you something, just
shit.
important. And if it's 2 Gazans with a,
I didn't realize how long I've been live for. Holy moly! Hassan Piker. Ah. 13 likes. How many? 13 thumbs ups. That's pretty good. Without anybody saying anything. Hey, Docky Hollandaise. Oh shit, let's watch this.
The city of Flint, 106 kilometers, 66 miles northwest of Detroit, was in a dire situation. In fact, if we're being accurate, Flint's been battling a tsunami of recession, poor management, and bad luck since the late 1970s. Moving into the second decade of the 21st century, the city had a population of 8,000, down from 80,000 just 30 years before, the paid-for result of downsizing in the automobile sector. Flint had become synonymous with crises, high crime rates, low employment, 2 periods under state financial emergency from 2002 to 2004, and again from 2011 to 2015. This city has not been doing well. And yet, that was all just the tip of the iceberg. One fabled decision in 2014, no doubt with honourable intentions but catastrophic results, made Flint synonymous with something altogether darker and much harder to see: dirty water. The decision to switch Flint's water supply from Detroit Water and Sewage Department, which sources its water from Lake Huron and the Detroit River, to Flint River nearby, was devastating. Within weeks, residents began complaining about the smell, taste, and appearance of the water, and it was soon found that aging pipes were leaking lead into the city's water supply. In June 2014, just 2 months after the switch, an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease swept through Flint, though this wasn't made officially public for another 2 years. The crisis left a dark stain on the region that remains to this very day. It's thought that at least 12 people died as a result, but it might be many decades before we know the full extent of the thousands of children who were exposed to toxic drinking water for years. Flint made headlines worldwide because of its dirty water. But if you step back and look at the United States as a whole, it's sometimes not a pretty sight. It may be the world's wealthiest nation, but clean drinking water is not always a given. Now, if we zoom out from the sagging fortunes of this small city in Michigan, we find a mixed situation around the United States. During the 33 years between 1982 and 2015, there were an astonishing 17,900 water quality violations for community water systems across the US, meaning that on average, in any given year, between 9 million and 45 million Americans were drinking water from sources that directly violated the Safe Drinking Water Act signed in 1974. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that this usually didn't concern Beverly Hills or the Upper West Side of Manhattan. These violations typically occurred in rural, low-income areas, often close to factories and manufacturing zones. But surely things were improving. Well, no, not as much as you might think. In 2015, just as the residents of Flint began to understand they'd been drinking water laced with lead for the best part of a year, it's thought that 21 million people around the United States, that's around 6% of the entire population, were consuming unclean water regularly. In 2014, the Centers for Disease Control, CDC, estimated that 17 different pathogens had led to 7.15 million illnesses, 601,000 emergency department visits, 118,000 hospital...
Which is exactly why you need my water purification filtration system. It is the best, the finest water purification you're going to find anywhere on the internet. Now, I'm telling you that I drink my own urine all day. It's all I do. And my urine is some of the most... I love making my coffee with my own urine. And that is because our purification systems are the finest systems you're going to find anywhere on the internet, anywhere you look for this sort of thing. I've done the tests myself. I prove it every day when I drink my own urine all day. You're going to want to check us out over at prisonplanet.com, infowars.com, go to our online store, check out our water purification filtration systems. I'm telling you, the finest filtration, purification you will find anywhere on the internet. Filtration and purification and filtration. You're not going to find it anywhere else. We're installing that in the bathroom, because I will snort only half of a line of ultra-potent super male vitality because it is so ultra-potent. I have to wait at least 4 excruciating seconds before I go back and snort that second half of a line of ultra-potent super male vitality. And then I'm renovating. I'm renovating beyond belief. Because sometimes I get a little over-exuberant. And, we've got 16 crews coming in today we're putting in water purification, filtration, 16 different spigots around the entire bathroom. It's all going to have their own water filtration, purification systems on each spigot. Yeah, and I'm telling you, this is only going to get worse. He's going to talk about how this is all over the country, not just Flint, Michigan.
...1970s. You see, while big cities and affluent areas can usually upgrade piping and install the latest water treatment technology, smaller rural areas are often left behind. Smaller water systems usually rack up around twice the number of health violations that larger providers do, which could be because of various reasons. Around the world, you'll find communities struggling financially, and the US is no different. Sometimes it's down to poor management or simply poor circumstances with nobody to blame, but often this leads to heavy cutbacks. Suddenly that much-needed upgrade to some aging water pipes gets pushed to the back of the line, or that more generous proposal for an alternate water supply begins to seem all the more appealing. It's important to stress that this is very rarely down to malicious intent. When you can upgrade your water pipes, rebuild a school section, or purchase essential hospital equipment, the choice is not exactly straightforward. However, as seen with Flint, these choices sometimes have terrible consequences. And there's the problem of adequately staffing water treatment sites in remote areas. Many of these require a staff member on the premises at all times, often a monotonous and poorly paid position that is difficult to fill and virtually impossible to maintain in the long run. Flint may be the best known example of a city with dirty water, but it's far from the only one in Keystone, West Virginia. The water can simply vanish for days on end, while in Brady, Texas, levels of radium are 9 times higher than the EPA limit. Over in California, in the city of Dos Palos, residents now drink bottled water after trihalomethanes, a group of chemicals linked to kidney problems and increased cancer risk, were found in their water supply. Remember I said that cities are usually better? Well, that's not always the case. In 2017, the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority warned residents to boil all of their water before consumption. In Newark, between 2017 and 2019, testing revealed lead levels that exceeded 15 parts per billion, well above what the EPA says is acceptable. Michigan, Baltimore, Pensacola, Las Vegas, Reno, Houston. These are just some of the major cities that have struggled with dirty water in recent decades. Pensacola is widely considered the worst offenders, scoring a positive from half of the nearly 101 chemicals tested for. This included radium-228, cyanide, chloroform, trichloroethylene, tetrachloroethylene, alpha particles, benzene, and lead. However, to tie this all together with a nicely knotted metaphorical bow, we must end in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. Now, if you think the city is all gleaming bridges and parks and the White House and the mall, you're painfully mistaken. Washington, D.C. is a city of two halves. The haves, those often working in politics, and the have-nots, which is everybody else. High unemployment, high crime rates, and pitiful education standards have become the norm for the poorest residents in Washington, D.C. And then we come to the water. In the early 2000s, an elevated level of lead was found in the city's water system, leading to substantial changes in which much of the lead piping around the capital was replaced. And yet, as is usually the case, poorer neighborhoods, which also happen to be predominantly African-American neighborhoods, came last, and there are thought to be thousands of homes across the city still using lead pipes. Now, if you want the most up-to-date crisis, look no further than Jackson, Mississippi, a city with a population of 150,000 that has had a badly interrupted water supply for well over a decade. When a winter storm damaged some of the water lines in 2010, few in Jackson would have expected that 13 years later their water supply would still not be any better. But it'd actually get much worse. A series of initiatives to raise money to fix the problem ran into problems, and in 2016, there was a sizable water leak that is still not fixed as you're watching this video. Yes, indeed, in the richest nation in the world, a water leak that happened 7 years ago still is not fixed, and the population is routinely asked to boil their water before consuming it. And to make things even worse, in August 2022, when the nearby Pearl River flooded, it caused the O.B. Curtis water treatment plant to cease operations altogether. The water did eventually come back on, then it went off, and so goes the lives of the residents of Jackson, Mississippi. It's a painful example of how bad things can get. Now, before we bring today's video to a close, we should say that the vast majority of water in the United States is certified as acceptable to drink. That's around 95%. However, there is a slight problem with this kind of feel-good fact. Acceptable is only the level that the government has set. Regarding lead, the US government says that 2.2 micrograms per day for children and 8.8 for females of childbearing age is okay. Still, many independent environmental agencies believe this is too high, while even the World Health Organization has stated that there is no known safe blood lead concentration. While things certainly tightened up since the cowboy days post-World War II, the United States still allows the use of certain chemicals banned in other parts of the world, such as formaldehyde, titanium dioxide, and cyclotetrasiloxane, as well as potassium bromate. Many of these chemicals concern other countries enough that they ban them outright. But for whatever reason, let's take a wild guess here and say corporate lobbying, they remain legal and widely used in the US. We've got very little idea what effects these types of chemicals have on the human body over several decades, just as we didn't know how damaging C8 was back in the 1950s. And because of that, water in the United States is likely much more polluted than people are led to believe. However, we have plenty of research on lead poisoning in children, and it's grim reading. Those with lead poisoning tend to have lower IQs, high rates of attention deficit disorder, poor memory, and a lack of impulse control. But that's just the start. During their adult years, they have a higher risk for kidney disease, stroke, and hypertension, while some studies have linked lead exposure to incarceration for violent crime. There's a growing water problem in the United States, a combination of business negligence that goes blatantly unpunished and an aging system, as well as a general apathy towards poorer sections of society and, at times, appalling mismanagement and even corruption, meaning that one of the most vital substances needed to keep humans alive and fit and healthy is not regularly available. You can argue over the exact reasons and ways to address it, but this is an issue of such an enormous scale that many politicians choose to turn a blind eye. The costs associated and legislative changes to go after the worst offenders are not popular measures among the US Senate and Congress, even though they concern something as primal to all of us as assuring that children have access to clean water. Flint wasn't the start, and it won't be the end. There's a whole lot of dirty water in the wealthiest country in the world.
All right, so that's Into the Shadows channel on YouTube. So, you guys, thanks for tuning in. I will see you on the next show. Take care, everybody. Peace. Remember, I'm at Nay's Garden on Twitter and on Discord. I mean, Twitter and on Rumble. So, I will see you guys over on Twitter at Nate's Garden. That's where I'll be until I see you here again. Alright, bye guys.